Gliscor absorbs the flame charge. If we can get to 2 Night Slashes, hopefully we can gain shield advantage in the mid game. The first Night Slash goes unshielded. Gliscor on a sliver of HP reaches the next Night Slash. Night Slash forces the Protect shield. We're now going to put it all on Swampert. We send in Ninetales. Ninetales are going to absolute dead weight. There really is no point in shielding as we're going to be stuck against G-Weezy. We're spamming the switch. Show me something Swampert can sweep, and that isn't it. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be discussing one of the most controversial subjects in all of Pokemon Go PvP, the algorithm. As a player who reaches Legend pretty much every season, I think I've done it like 9 times or something, I don't really struggle to climb, and I can honestly say I do not, or I should say did not, believe in that algorithm whatsoever. However, the first 10 battles you're going to see in today's video are consecutive, and this is no joke. I am getting absolutely destroyed. Some of the Pokemon you're going to see today are absolutely absurd. So without any further ado, let's just jump into the battles. And in game 1, we see Nidoqueen in the lead. Obviously, this opponent hasn't heard that Feraligatr is now the top meta threat. The opponent fire off the Poison Fang, then switch out into Incineroar. There's only one win con on full send, and it does the opponent respect the damage. Get that Incineroar off my screen, and we're going to flip this script on its head. Clearly my first opponent doesn't watch my channel, not that many people do, because if they did watch, they'd know there are no baits on this channel. My opponent sends out Ampharos. I commit to the Earthquake, forcing the energy. Brutal Swing with a lowered defense does secure the knockout. We can now realign. I send out Ninetales. Look to commit to the Charm Down, Farm Down. We actually reach a Weather Ball. Weather Ball goes unshielded. They're saving 2 shields for Nidoqueen, and that is going to be check and mate. GG's, and thanks for playing. Oh boy, in the next battle we see Squidward. We're going to say switch into Gliscor. However, Squidward does outpace the super effective Scald. I'm already going to have to commit a protection. We shield at the Scald. The opponent then sends out Zygarde. If you're wondering just how thick this annoying Pokemon is, this is a stab Shadow Earthquake, and it does like nothing but undeterred. We're going to farm up, throw 7 wing attacks and the next Earthquake for optimal fast move time in this second Earthquake. Still doesn't force a Protect shield, however the opponent is going to be forced to throw. However, the thing is, with being such a bulky Pokemon, Zygarde hits like a wet noodle. We're able to withstand the crunch, return fire with the Night Slash, finally forcing a Protect shield. We now send out Ninetales. Ninetales going to be able to commit to the full Charm Down, Farm Down, and we're going to have to pray that Swampert's good against the remainder of the team. I'm spamming the switch. Please be like a Registeel, for the love of God. The opponent sends out Tentacruel, then pivot into Guzzlord, and things are not looking fantastic. The opponent goes straight for the Dragon Claw. We're going to tank the first, and once again, we're going to full send the Earthquake. Earthquake, unfortunately, won't be lethal as Guzzlord is also very thick. Earthquake rocks Guzzlord deep into the red. We reach the Hydro Cannon. This should be forcing the opponent's final Protect shield. Unfortunately, Swampert is going to get Dragon Tail farmed down. The question now is, can Ninetales knock out Tentacruel? The opponent fires off the crunch. They don't get the debuff. Ninetales does have access to Psyshock for coverage that will hit Tentacruel for super effective, but is Psyshock enough to knock out? No, it's not, and we're going to get Poison Jab farmed down and take a heartbreaking loss. In the next battle, another Nidoqueen. Are you serious? For the third consecutive battle, we see the pivot into Gliscor. The opponent farms up to 7. Are we about to get Stone Edged? Of course we are, because why fucking not? The opponent then sends out Giratina. They've chipped us into a range where flipping switch just simply will not be possible. We fire off the next Night Slash on the CMP tie to the next Dragon Claw. Night Slash gets Giratina into a range where we will at least be able to charm it down. In an ideal world, this opponent is running Dragon Claw and Shadow Sneak. We send out Ninetales. Hopefully the opponent doesn't have Ancient Power. Let's see what the moveset is. The opponent, of course, has Ancient Power. We then spam out into Swampert. The opponent stays in with Nidoqueen. We're going to fire off the Hydro Cannon. Hydro Cannon will be forcing a Protect shield. This opponent building up to the potential Earth Power. They've already shown Stone Edge. I am going to respect the Twin Nukes. Very nice moveset opponent. They then pivot out into Poliwrath. This looks rough. We fire off the Earthquake. Earthquake! Go shielded. This game isn't quite over yet. If we can charm this Poliwrath down and get a Weather Ball ready for Nidoqueen, perhaps we've got a chance. The opponent fire off the Icy Wind, securing the knockout. We send out Ninetales. This looks a bit quick for a Scald. The opponent's on Power Up Punch. What the hell is this moveset? Why are people ruining my day? And Power Up Punch Poliwrath is going to give me yet another heartbreaking loss. In the next battle, Galarian Weezing. 4 for 4 on lost leads. Let's fucking go. We're going to build up some energy because Charm generates energy super slowly and then pivot into Gliscor. The opponent can throw whatever they like. It won't knock out. The opponent fire off the Brutal Swing, then pivot out into Swampert. Unfortunately, I'm not going to reach an Earthquake before the Hydro Cannon, so we fire off the Night Slash. Night Slash does some decent chip damage. The opponent looks to throw on the CMP side to the next Night Slash. A very nice counting opponent. The opponent has Overfarm. I'm looking at the health and hoping I can fully charm this down with only tanking one Hydro Cannon. However, the opponent heavily overfarms. We're going to need 2 charms to knock out. I throw the first charm. It doesn't look like the next charm will knock out, so I'm going to be forced to throw as I don't want to go down a Protect Shield. Weather Ball secures the knockout. I spam out into Swampert, and I'm praying Swampert is just good against the remainder of the team. The opponent once again look to chip me with a Brutal Swing and then send out yet another Poliwrath, and I'm just going to instantly concede. Another G-Weezy. We're going to try something different this time. We pivot straight out into Gliscor, drawing out Talonflame. This is by no means a good matchup for Gliscor, especially after last season's buff to Incinerate, making it the first ever 4 damage per turn and 4 energy per turn quick move. However, hopefully we can gain shield advantage. The question is, can Gliscor make one further Night Slash? The opponent looks for the full Incinerate farm down. They don't get there. Gliscor does make the next Night Slash, giving us shield advantage. Ninetales looking like absolute dead weights. We're just going to put it all on Swampert. This time with a 2-to-1 shield advantage. A boosted Flame Charge, despite being super effective, doesn't secure the knockout. We do manage to get the full charm down, farm down, and once again we're spamming out into Swampert. The opponent's got Virizion in the back, and once again I'm going to concede the match. In the next battle, who the hell has XL Seeking? This is just getting a joke. If you've maxed this thing all the way to level 50, you've definitely Elite TM'd it to have Icy Wind, which will be double super effective. I show up the Icy Wind, and once again we're going to full send the Earthquake. Does the opponent respect the damage? Earthquake goes unshielded, rocking Seeking deep into the red. Icy Wind doesn't get the same type attack bonus. We do manage to survive one, and we're even going to be able to fire off one further Night Slash. I doubt the opponent shields such a low health Seeking, and finally, this giant goldfish is no longer on my screen. Out comes Heliolisk. You might be thinking, why don't I go Swampert? Well, because I reckon this thing has probably got Grass Knot. So we're going to send in Ninetales, and would you look at that? Of course the opponent has Grass Knot. However, Ninetales able to withstand the damage. We fire off one charm, and the Weather Ball forces a Protect Shield. The opponent then opts to throw a Breaking Swipe. This is double resisted. Ninetales survives. We pivot into Swampert. We get off 2 Mud Shots, and the opponent sends out Giratina. We've already nuked them once, and we're going to full send again. Does the opponent respect the damage? Earthquake goes unshielded, rocking Giratina deep into the red. I'm thinking about calling it last second. I invest the protection. We correctly show up the Shadow Ball. I'm looking to double up on Hydro Cannons. Unfortunately, I'm not able to do so. So we're going to have to fire off the Hydro Cannon on the CMP side. Hydro Cannon forces the Protect Shield. Ninetales is incredibly low. Can we charm down the remainder of the team? Shadow Ball secures the knockout. One charm takes care of Giratina. Charm, a 3-turn move, does register before the 4-turn Volt Switch, and we take that game. Oh, hello, Skeledirge. Nice to see you. To see you nice. I'm joking. It's fucking shit. The opponent sends out Greninja. Greninja always shields, but I full send regardless, guaranteeing the Protect Shield. Hydro Cannon's going to be massive overkill. From this range, the opponent gets greedy, fires off the Night Slash, to then fire off the next Night Slash on the CMPs. However, I'm not on 1 HP, so I'm going to shield this up, look to flip switch, or get both Protect Shields. Ball is in the opponent's court. The next Earthquake forces the Protect Shield. And when shields are down, Shadow Swampert usually goes to town, as long as they don't have something like a Virizion or another Grass type. The opponent is going to reach back-to-back Hydro Cannons, and of course we're putting it all on the Goat to do Goat things. We need 4 Mud Shots to secure the knockout. Swampert gets the Mud Shot farm down. Okay, we're cooking. The opponent even sends back out Skeledirge. I fire off 2 Mud Shots and the Hydro Cannon. I really need this to knock out. Hydro Cannon just doesn't get the job done. The opponent's only going to reach 1 move, so I have to shield the Shadow Ball, as it would do like 65-70% of my health. The opponent then sends out Guzzlord. We reach the Earthquake. Earthquake's going to put this thing into Hydro Cannon range. However, the question is, can we survive a crunch? Come on, Swampert. Please be bulky. Oh, and we take another loss. Finally, we see a good lead. No, I'm kidding. Another dreadful lead. Again, we're going to safe switch into Gliscor, and I really hate this matchup, so I'm forced to instantly go down a Protect Shield. The opponent fires off the Scald. I'd be so pissed off if someone acid sprayed me there. The opponent stays in. They must know we need to bait to win this matchup, so I full send the Earthquake. The opponent does respect it and then sends out Guzzlord again. I throw out very disciplined timing, firing off yet another Earthquake, rocking Guzzlord down to around a third health. Dragonclaw won't be lethal. We need new mechanic to get off the Night Slash. Do we get it? Of course we don't. We now send out Ninetales. Ninetales is going to be able to commit to the full Charm Down, Farm Down. However, I really wish we got new mechanic and managed to force the opponent's final shield. We pivot into Swampert. We're going to call an Acid Spray. The opponent does Acid Spray like an absolute potato and then sends out Greedent. With a lowered defense, this matchup is now going to be very, very difficult as this Squirrel is so spammy. We fire off the first Hydro Cannon. You can see it does around 33%. The opponent definitely isn't in Hydro Cannon range. I'm going to farm up, throw the Earthquake on the CMP tie. Does the opponent respect the damage? How many nukes have been shielded today? Holy crap. Switch time is our missiles. I'm going to shield up the Body Slam where they're going to throw 4 Mud Shots. Let's catch the Body Slam. Back onto Ninetales. I don't know if this helps me, but you've got to do something. Body Slam doesn't do all that much damage. Back out comes Tentacruel. The opponent's already at a charge move. The opponent throws an Acid Spray. Trainer, what are you doing? This opponent's doing the absolute best to try and find their lose con. I just throw the Weather Ball as I won't reach the Side Shock. Have a Weather Ball puts them into Hydro Cannon range. The question is now, can we survive the Mud Shots and reach one further Hydro Cannon? Yes, we can. And the opponent's put on an absolute clinic on why you shouldn't fucking bait. GG's and thanks for playing. In the next battle, hallelujah, Dragonite, let's go. The opponent's pivots out into Cresselia. I answer with Gliscor, and evidently that opponent is having an even worse day than me as they instantly concede, despite there being a pretty neutral matchup. In the next battle, we see Ho-Oh. Are you serious? As always, we're going to utilise the Gliscor safe switch, and this time we draw out Giratina. This is a pretty neutral matchup. However, Giratina does far outbulk our Shadow Pokemon. We farm up, throw the next Night Slash on the CMP side. The opponent clearly wants to keep that super healthy alignment. RNG gods, where is my boost? Please give me a boost. As the opponent shielded out of range where Night Slash won't be lethal again, I farm up to the Earthquake this time. I go for the bait, Night Slash, forces the Protect Shield. There is the boost. I think this is a questionable shield, to be honest, but we're going to ride the boost. However, the problem is now, with shields down, Swampert is not going to tank a Brave Bird particularly well. Again, we farm up, throw the Night Slash on the CMP tie. Night Slash secures the knockout, back out comes Ho-Oh. Only fire off 1 wing attack as it won't survive the Incinerate. Night Slash does do some very solid chip damage. Again, we're going to look to put it all on Swampert, so I look to catch the Brave Bird back onto Ninetales. Brave Bird will be lowering the opponent's defense by 3 stages. We look for the Charm Down, Farm Down. Unfortunately, we're unable to get it. And you can see, even if I didn't shield my boosted Gliscor, without having switched, would have just lost as Swampert, in the 1-0 shield, still gets absolutely shat on by Virizion. In the next battle, we see Swampert in the lead. And we've even seen the world's only Swampert in Ultra League running Sludge Wave. My God, what a day of GBL this has been. I fire off the Weather Ball goes unshielded, I pivot into Gliscor. I am going to have to shield up the incoming Hydro Cannon, however at least we've got Ninetales as a potential third shield. The opponent answers my Gliscor safe switch with Obstagoon, which of course isn't a great matchup, as we do resist counter due to our sub flying typing. Again, we're going to full send an Earthquake. Does the opponent respect the damage? Earthquake rocks Obstagoon deep into the red, as the opponent didn't get a boost. Night Slash won't be lethal. I'm going to throw 4 wing attacks and the Night Slash. Night Slash, despite being resisted, will knock out as Obstagoon has got hardly any HP. The opponent going to likely send out their third. I'm looking top right. The opponent sends out Charizard. I bank the Night Slash for the road and send out Swampert. I doubt the opponent baits, so I'm going to look to shield up the Blast Burn. The opponent does full send. And now all we're going to do here is pause a turn every single time I want to throw. I hit no bubbles, and of course this is going to be shielded. As is a non-shadow Charizard, we are going to be able to survive a Blast Burn, however we're going to be low. I'm going to anticipate the opponent looking to catch at some stage. Once again we pause, ensuring I see the wing attack go through. So this means Charizard can't pivot out. The opponent looks to make that catch. They don't get it. We Mud Shot farm down. We leave with the Hydro Cannon, and that is going to be all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. In the next battle, we see now a degenerate charm user. To be honest, I just wanted to get my battles done quickly, so perhaps I deserve to be a victim of the algorithm using a very toxic charmer. The opponent only goes for a weather ball. That isn't going to get the job done. We're going to return fire with the Psyshock, either going to knock out or force a protection. We do win lead, and I'm pivoting straight away into Gliscor, and the opponent sends out Poliwrath. The opponent's looking to force a protection with the Icy Wind, and I am going to oblige, putting up that protection. The opponent continues to stay in, and you know the drill. We're going to full send it. Does the opponent respect the damage? Earthquake, go shielded. Trainer, why are you staying in? I'm now very much panicking, thinking there's going to be a grass type in the back. I shield up the next Icy Wind, and the opponent's actually running double fighter. With 2-stage debuffs, there's no point in baiting. We full send the Earthquake. Earthquake forces the opponent's final Protect Shield, and this very much gives us a win con. The opponent fires off the Ice Punch as soon as they get it. Of course, Ice Punch double super effective, secures the knockout. We've still got Ninetales as a potential third shield. I'm going to look to catch the Shadow Ball back onto Ninetales. However, the opponent doesn't even build up to it. Night Slash, Ice Punch. Interesting moveset, Trainer. However, this just allows me to overfarm, fire off the Earthquake. Earthquake going to be secure on the knockout. We're now going to be able to outpace Poliwrath to the next Earthquake, and the Goat is going to do Goat things, sweeping the back line. Earthquake going to be all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. In the next battle, we see Ampharos in the lead. I will definitely take that after leads we've seen so far. Pretty good matchup for us, to be honest. The opponent looks like they're going for a Trailblaze. Trailblaze is going to be vamping up their attack. We're going to fire off one charm and the Weather Ball for optimal fast move time, and only giving away one free turn. We force ourselves an early shield advantage. I imagine the second move is Brutal Swing, and if it is, this isn't going to be lethal. We're then going to once again pivot out, saving Ninetales as the potential third shield. I could have fired off the Night Slash, but I don't really think there's any point in throwing at such a low health Pokemon. The boosted Brutal Swing does do a lot, but I'd rather have energy than more health. We leave absolutely loaded. The opponent only with one Protect Shield, 2 hard behind. What the fuck is going on? I fire off 2 wing attacks, and the opponent gets 6 free turns of energy. That is the equivalent of 66% of a fly, which is currently the best move in the game. What is going on? Due to that Incinerate sneaking, we even miss out on the next Night Slash. So even when we get a decent lead, we somehow get screwed. And look at that. I'm spamming the switch. Game, let me switch out. We're in Season 18, and this game still runs like absolute trash. I honestly ask myself, why do I bother wasting my time making this stupid content for such a broken game? The opponent sends out Poliwrath. The only win con is if the game actually let me switch. Luckily for me, we do make the catch. We're going to catch the Scald back onto our third shield. We can now send out Swampert. We're just going to double up on charge moves. This Hydro Cannon will be securing the knockout onto Poliwrath. We're going to then fire off 2 Mod Shots and the Hydro Cannon onto Talonflame just to see if the Incinerate sneaks. This time, the Incinerate doesn't sneak, but regardless, we are going to be able to take that game. Normal service has resumed. We see the Kentucky Fried Chicken, Bird of Death in the lead. My Gliscor save switch is met by Swampert, and things have gone from bad to worse. As it's a Shadow Swampert, we actually can't survive a Hydro Cannon. However, the opponent for some reason overfarm far too much and give me a Protect Shield. I'm just going to take it after today's battles. Thanks, Trainer. We know Ninetales is going to be absolute dead weight. I'm just going to look to commit to the full Charm Down, Farm Down. If the opponent reaches back-to-back Hydros, I don't care. We're just going to sack Ninetales. The opponent does reach the back-to-back on what looks like an invisible HP. However, it does give Swampert a 1 Mud Shot head start. The opponent sends back out Talonflame. Trainer, are you sure about that? I take the initiative, fire off the Hydro Cannon. Hydro Cannon forces the opponent's final Protect Shield. Hydro Cannon actually doesn't knock out Talonflame, although with the Mud Shot damage, this is going to be pretty close. I actually don't get baited to my surprise. I then fire off 2 more Mud Shots and the next Hydro Cannon. Hydro Cannon rocks Talonflame deep into the red, and the opponent sends out Registeel. I fire off 8 Mud Shots and the Earthquake, and that's CMP. So 8 Mud Shots will be 16 lock-ons, which means 80 energy. I've still got a Protect Shield. However, this is going to be the easiest Zap Cannon call of my life, Trainer. You, sir, have gifted me the easiest win of my GBL career, and the opponent is going to concede the match. So the question after today's video is the algorithm real? I'll be honest, I'm still not convinced. It was just a bit of a fun upload with some trash talking, although my god, was they some rough battles today. But if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you like your battles featured on my channel, link to battle submission form is down below. And as always, a huge thank you to everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.